You're very welcome back to the show. Now, my next guests came together 8 years ago and formed a singing group with a difference. You don't need any singing ability to join. They just want to connect people through the power of music. And in fact, over the years, these ladies have found singing has greatly benefited their members' mental health and well-being. So please welcome from CÓRus, we have Mary Lower Gorman and Yvonne MacDonald. Thank you both very much for coming on the show today. And I have to say, it is very true, because most people, whether they admit it or not, whether it's singing in the shower or whistling, walking down the corridor at work or something like that, you can't be unhappy if you're singing, can you really, Yvonne? It's not something you do if you're sad.
No, and I mean, anecdotally, we've certainly found from our members that they come into our classes and they tell us they come in maybe a bit tired, a bit world weary, having done a tough day in work or whatever, and they walk out an hour and a half later and they're on a high. And it's not... it's even scientifically proven that, you know, you do release the kind of happy hormone, oxytocin, when you're singing. So it's proven.
And how did you meet up in the first place, Mary?
Well, we go back a long time, Elaine. We met many years ago when we were both in a musical society called Simcoe, and we shared a love of music, and our background then was media, television, film, and we kind of lost touch and then got together again, re-met when we were both adopting our daughters from Russia.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
So we kind of, we brought our daughters home within a month of each other and met for coffee and chatted and discovered that we both loved singing, and there was nothing out there for us really to do what we're doing with CÓRus. So we put our heads together and came up with singing classes for fun.
Yeah. So what way does it actually work, the classes?
So as a member, you arrive and you're given your material, you're given lyrics, and we teach 2 3-part harmony songs every evening. We do physical and vocal warm-ups where we're learning, you know, teaching techniques and breathing and exercises for the different areas of the body which you all use for singing. Use 100 muscles when you sing or speak, and that's just in this area here, the mouth, the neck and stuff. So it's full on, and it's reprising, and it's learning, and it's moving as well. You know, everybody leaves with a smile on their faces because they've had such a lovely time.
I mean, I think the thing that was really important to us when we set it up was, I love singing. Mary has an incredible talent, a natural talent. I just love singing for the pure joy of it. But I wouldn't have joined a kind of a more formal choir. One, I was, you know, at that stage, I'm a single mom, so I had my daughter, and didn't have the time. But also couldn't read music. So what we did was we set up CÓRus based on what we wanted, which was just, you know, somewhere to go where you could go along for an hour and a half once a week, improve your singing technique and just sing for the joy of singing. And so we opened our first class having, I think we printed up 100 flyers or something, and went to Dundrum Shopping Centre and handed out.
7 years ago.
And we put out 12 chairs in a room we had been given locally the first night, and kind of thought, well, here we go, we'll do this for an evening job. And 40 people came in the first night.
40 people?
40 people. So
you
the two
must
of
have
us
dropped down dead in shock.
We were hysterical.
Totally.
We were just
so that class, 8 years later now, has 120 on average every Tuesday night in Dundrum. So we knew we'd hit a nerve, and there's over 800 people attend classes all over Dublin now.
Yeah, because I think most people do love to sing at some shape or point. They mightn't admit it until they've had a few drinks, but they do. It's like Irish people in general, we have a great love and a great passion for music in all shapes and forms. It doesn't matter if you read it or not, it's there.
Yeah, and a lot of people wouldn't have joined us if there'd been auditions or having to read music. But it's our birthright to be able to just sing, and you don't have to sing like Celine Dion or Pavarotti, you know, but you get 300 or 400 people together at the end of year concert, and it's
That's
magical.
how many people you have in total?
In the Helix,
Wow.
Well, on stage, we do a couple of concerts, but there could be 300 on stage each evening.
Are you very bossy now? How seriously do you take it now? Because I'm wondering, it's fun and mental health and that sort of stuff, but you know, if you're doing something as full on as a concert at the end of the year, there has to be some sort of discipline to it, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I think during our classes, what we always say is we have some fantastic leaders now, teachers who work with us. Obviously, we don't teach each class. And the teachers really work hard. You know, they're kind of not only teaching the music, but they're performing. They have to keep everybody entertained. So we have a great team. But yeah, when it comes to the concert, we're quite kind of bossy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Getting 300 people on stage is a difficult.
And what's the cost involved in it?
So the classes, we do terms, so we follow the kind of school term. So we run from September to May, and it's 120 for a 10-week term, and it's an hour and a half. And then what happens is if somebody joins one of our classes, say they join in, you know, Rathfarnham on a Tuesday night or a Monday night, and for some reason life gets in the way, they can't go, they can go to any other class because we follow a curriculum.
So it's 12 quid for the hour and a half, which isn't bad.
And
really.
they can go to as many classes in the week as they want, and some people come to 3 or 4.
Because it is a form of therapy. I know, look at the state of my nails now. I'm victim to this over Christmas. In my cousin's pub, we decided to take the guitars out and have an impromptu session. So but like people do that, and it does cheer you up. And myself and my sisters knocking off harmonies, singing. Well, one of them can sing. The rest of us are a bit brutal now, to be quite honest, at this point. But it does lift the soul. It really does. And my eldest sister Veronica, she's got a beautiful voice, but she went to a musical the other day and she came out just bopping. She said, yeah, I needed this. This is my therapy. Music is my therapy. But there's something hugely therapeutic about music.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's where the science, I think, Elaine, is actually coming out now. And they really are beginning to prove that it's so beneficial for people. You know, there was research done from the University of Limerick, which is fantastic, only last year, where they looked at, I think it was the largest international research, at people who are in choirs and singing groups and what have you, and everybody reported a reduction of stress, feeling happier, loneliness alleviated. I mean, we've had some fantastic stories, you know, groups of people who met in our classes who now go on holidays together, they kind of have dinners, you know, great bonding. And that's a physiological effect of singing. Apparently, when you breathe with another person in time, you actually start to create a physiological kind of bonding.
I suppose in this day and age as well, I mean, most people are connecting through social media now and not actually in person. So the opportunities for people to meet up in clubs and those sorts of situations, they don't really exist anymore in many forms. So this is an ideal way to do that.
It is an ideal way to do it. And, you know, as we said, we have 800 people. Unfortunately, we don't have as many, it's not a direct division of men and women. So we're still working on getting the men to join, because once we get them in, they stay, because there is so much going on. You know, even the achievement of learning a 2-3-part harmony song, songs that they never thought that they would ever get to sing, is just such a booster to the confidence, self-confidence as well.
What you do if someone's really brutal and they're singing flat and they're dragging the whole 2 hours down there?
We don't tut, we don't do anything, and everybody can sing. We don't require people to
have a skill.
No. And when you're singing with large groups, you know, it doesn't matter if there's a bum note here or there, that's okay.
And I think it was a fundamental part of our ethos was that nowadays there's a kind of tendency, and I don't know whether it's the likes of the X Factors and these big programs, to kind of ridicule people who don't have the best voices. And so a lot of people, and we even have, you know, members who would say to us that they might have been told not to sing when they were in primary school, or to stand in the back or whatever. And whereas we kind of give them permission to come along and just sing really for the joy of it, and they will get better. And with our, you know, teaching and the techniques that we teach in class, people's ear gets better over a period of time.
If you're exercising any part of your body for any reason, you can't but improve.
It's a muscle at the end of the day.
It's a muscle, exactly. Absolutely.
So there's hope for us all.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So if people want to get involved in this, how do they do that? Particularly men, lads. Need a few men. How do they get in touch?
Well, our website, www.CÓRus, and it's CORUS.ie. That has, anybody can come along and try out a free class. They don't have to commit to join. They can just register their interest in whatever class, come along, sit in on a class, and we've got them by the end.
Have a bit of fun.
I've all these choir songs from school popping through my head now. La 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 la.
Well, we sing everything from Doris Day to Jessie J, and everything in between.
It's a really eclectic.
Wow.
Really
and what's the age group you have?
Everything from early 20s up to mid-80s, isn't that right?
And that's really fun.
Absolutely fantastic. And a nice sense of community as well, that's sometimes lost in the more urban areas now. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me in the show today. And well done, and that's such a fantastic organisation. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, time for a quick break.